Hello, Contractors of Colorado. It's your host, Andrew Laverenz, here for an episode of the Contractors of Colorado podcast. Today, I've got Alessandro, goes by Ali. He is here with Steel Dog Structures. Before I jump in, introduce him and hear a little bit about him and his story. As always, shout out to our sponsors. Thank you to the Builders Outlet, cabinets, doors, windows, trim, everything you need for your material supply. They're up in Denver, right by Empower Stadium, so check them out. That's buildersoutletco.com. They've got some really cool online tools and options for online ordering now. Explore those, makes your process easier. They're really trying to work with you guys to make your lives easier. So reach out to them. Thank you to the Business Foundry. It's where we host our Lone Tree events. It's where we're headquartered out of. The services, the meeting rooms, the podcast room that we're in now, everything is top notch. And they're amazing partners to have. So thank you to the Business Foundry. All right. Let's jump in. Alessandro, my friend, how are you?
Good.
Good.
How are you, sir?
I'm doing well. So let me introduce you real quick. I guess you're with the ownership group of, you're one of the owners of Steel Dog Structures. Mm-hmm. I'll let you talk all about what you do and where you're located and all of that kind of stuff here in just a second. But Ali, you have a family. One of the things I like to do is really make sure we give a second to talk about ourselves as people first. Yeah. I think it's becoming kind of like almost a theme of our podcast. It's like we will talk about business regardless. I mean, we could go out for drinks. We're going to talk business at some point because it's ingrained in us as entrepreneurs. This is the question where for the first 2 minutes, I want you to be very intentional. Tell me about who you are, your family, and what you like to do.
Yeah, man. Faith-based, man. Really big into family. I mean, I live with my parents by choice. So my stepdad, my mom, my little brother, my little sister, and then my wife and 2 dogs. Those are my family. Those are my friends. That's pretty much all in who I hang out with and all in who I do this for. My wife is great. She works from home. My 2 dogs are 2 pit bulls. One's Keto, one's Ryder. My wife's name is Darlin, because that's who she is to me. Yep. Everyone else calls her that at this point. So, yeah, man, that's really me and who I do it for.
That's awesome. Do you got any fun hobbies? And before I forget, I've been thinking one of my questions that I wanted to make sure I asked today was about the logo and the pit bulls and all of that. So I think I got an answer there. That's cool, man. Is there any other backstory there? You're just like, how can I work them into the logo?
We'll get into it, but it's pretty casual and it's short and sweet.
Cool.
Yeah.
How about any hobbies other than work? It's the trick question for entrepreneurs. Yeah. What do we do for fun?
My hobbies are toys. I like to ride motorcycles. I like to ride ATVs, side-by-sides. So when I can get a chance to go camping in the woods and go hit some trails, it's a big hobby of mine.
All right.
That I enjoy.
I know when this podcast concludes, what we could talk about, we can go have some fun this summer.
Heck yeah. Let's go.
Cool. Love camping. Love backpacking.
Yeah, it's the best.
Before I had my kids, then backpacking slowed down a little bit. Right. And not as extreme. Not camping at the top of the Teton Mountains overnight anymore. More, let's see if we can make ramparts for 48 hours, with no tears. Yeah. Oh, that's awesome, man. So, all right, enough with personal life. Now let's jump into business. Cool. Tell me a little bit about Steel Dog Structures. Where did you, I guess let's start simple. Who are you? Where are you located and what do you do? And then maybe we can jump into the history of how you got started a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. So Steel Dogs is a steel building specialist contracting company. We specialize in turnkey construction, so from site development to ground up construction, all the way from foundation to handing you keys for your building. What is a steel building, right? I mean, it's a pole barn, it's a barndominium, it's a legit steel structure, it's a warehouse. So there's all these avenues that we take for a steel building, and we cover all of them. But it's really educating the customer at first of like what it is, what you want to use it for, what's your best pick, because there's so many things a steel building could be. Yeah.
Would and I have before these podcasts, I'll give a peek behind the curtain here for our audience. I prepare some questions. Spoiler alert: these aren't all off the top of the dome here. But at a certain point of the podcast, I can't even help myself except go off script. Right. Apparently, this morning we're going to do it a little earlier than normal because I'm really curious. There's prefab steel home structures. It seems like I'm hearing about it left and right.
Yeah.
I know very little about it. Admittedly, steel structures in the residential space.
Yeah.
I'm hearing a lot about prefab. What are you seeing? Does it feel like there's a wave coming? Does it feel like it's something that's actually cost effective?
Yeah. Preface, we may dive into it more. I truly think at some point steel is going to be cheaper than wood for construction as a whole. Now, on the prefab standpoint, it's an awesome evolution to the market, right? You can literally get a fully engineered, prefabricated steel structure to any size, shape, style, form, right, you want. Like there's so many other designs of steel building. There's a single slope, a gable, a gambrel, I'm probably missing a monitor style. That can all get pre-engineered.
Yeah.
Right. Back in the day, it was all weld up and find it on site, torch it on site. But now it's just coming from a facility bolt together.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's awesome. Now, it doesn't take the fact that like we still need to square our buildings. We still need to have the right equipment, the proper training, the proper safety measures. What I don't like that the industry is kind of doing is proposing that they're DIY.
Yeah.
They're not.
It's not a
right, like
pergola from Costco,
it's
guys.
not, man. And it puts some people in this risk, right? They get this big building dropped off on the ground and their unload process probably was terrible, and now they're second guessing after they just purchased a giant building, like, can we actually put this up?
Yeah.
So that's one kind of like downside of the prefab industry is them advertising that it's DIY and easy to build when it's still construction.
You're right. Yeah. I think a lot of DIYers realize that when, like I mentioned, the Costco prefab pergolas and the Wayfair sheds start popping out, and I mean, and we're talking about 4 aluminum walls that you gotta put together. It's nothing crazy, and those are difficult, right? They realize like you're getting more or less raw material dropped off at your doorstep.
At any size, you still need craftsmanship.
Exactly. Yeah, I think that's the big point, and patience, and it's going to be frustrating, especially that stuff's frustrating to deal with normally when you're trying to put, because at that point you're effectively putting a puzzle together, but you've turned over the creating the pieces aspect of it. Yeah. So you're normally, when you're in construction process, you're at least touching your materials, creating it, and that's helping, at least in my experience, it's always helping you envision that end state. It's like, okay, this is going to go here, this is going to go here. Now you're just
familiar
all
with it.
Now all the pieces are just dropped off, and it's a different approach, a different strategy.
Yep.
I'm interested to hear, is there any other technology that you're seeing in this space? That's
tons. Yeah, that's why we literally just came from a conference that was 3 days. We were only able to do a day and a half, but I mean, there's so much evolution behind steel. It's hard to imagine a world where it doesn't surpass wood, because we have like insulated metal panels, right? We have wall panels that are insulated, exterior, interior, and structural.
Crazy.
Yeah. So it's like, imagine just laying, it's almost like the cement walls, right? But to a metal state. Imagine when that gets big into the residential market. They're now 3D printing like metal sheets, right, into framing structures. So you could do a 3D model of a house or a full architectural design or a warehouse or office space, send it to a building manufacturer, and they're just printing out all the materials needed. And then it just comes on a truck, wall panels, metal framing panels, and you just put it together, weld it together, bolt it together, and
That's crazy. And to think, like early into these
super early
kits, there still are.
Yeah.
And I don't even have to be kits. I'm just foreseeing where this is going. And I imagine the kit builds are going to be, that'll be one of the first things to get standardized, right? We're not going to standardize custom home builds faster than we will, these smaller like ADU pop-up type things. Or, I don't know. It's crazy to think about. A lot of times when you would think about steel structures, you wouldn't think about technology, right? And that's one reason why I always like to be very sure I'm asking about what's new in your space. I'm also curious to hear from you guys, like what had you go all in on steel? Like I'm hearing now we've got the business obviously is a steel based business. That's what you believe in, but I'm also hearing a lot of future thought about where steel is going to go. And it feels like you're locked in there too.
Yeah.
Like, what started this for you to get Steel Dog Structures kind of going?
It was a casual porch conversation. The preface of what started a steel building company was, I knew I could build teams. I knew I could build a company, right? I came out of college, COVID, and my school closed. We'll probably get into that more. But long story short, I was back home. I didn't want to work a 9 to 5. I knew I was going to be in construction at some point. And my business partner now was like, why don't we start a steel building company? And I kind of said under my breath, like, Steel Dog Structures. And he was like, whoa, that's kind of cool. And so we ran with it. I did a market analysis. I kind of studied, right, like, what's it looking like right now? What's it look like in Colorado? And a lot of it is like big corporations who were around for a really long time and just kind of shady underground companies that travel all over, put a building together, leave, no like customer satisfaction or guarantee. So it's like, okay, so there's a market for a local, educational, help you out from start to finish, follow up with you in a year contractor. And we chased it, and it's done really well.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, just like any good entrepreneur idea, just kind of sitting around like, hey, what if we did this? All right. It was like, oh, damn, none of us are going to say don't do this.
No one said no.
All right, here we go, I guess. That's cool. So I heard something interesting there. So went to school, at least started formal education, higher education. Was just not a good fit. I heard school closed. There's a story there.
It was a wild ride, man.
Tell me about it.
Straight out of high school, I got a scholarship for rugby at Lindenwood University. It was a small school in Belleville, Illinois, about 30 minutes from East St. Louis.
Oh, I know. Yeah. I grew up in, or I went to school in West Michigan.
Okay.
I played baseball at Kalamazoo College.
Nice.
So you guys were right there.
Yeah. Yep. So you know the area, right?
Yeah.
So just small town, really nothing there. Was there for about a year and a half, right? And then on the background, that school was totally planning on closing, like within 2 years. They had some underground agreement with the city or whatever, and nobody knew. The teachers didn't know, the principals didn't know. Like when this was news, this was like headline news and like an explosion in the whole school.
Wow.
I knew some kids that moved away from another state, and 2 weeks after being at that school got the news. Jeez. So it was hard for everybody. I get it. So they were closing. There were so many kids there. There was probably 6,000 students that were there on scholarship from other countries, from other states. And news was it's closing. So you had a choice to move farther into Missouri to the mother school or figure it out. Right. So I was like, you broke my trust once, I'm not going to chase this school and go to another one. Came back home, kind of went on like a semester hiatus because I'm like, what do I do?
Right.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
Still wanted to play rugby, so I went to CSU the following year for about a year. But that's also when COVID was hitting and schools forced you to wear masks and take vaccines, and they had an option to be online randomly. So it was like, why am I paying for YouTube University when I could just watch videos online for 8 hours a day?
Right.
So stopped it all. I was like, this isn't for me. I can learn. I could teach myself. That's what it taught me ultimately, right?
Yeah.
I paid the price to ultimately learn that, which is okay. And fully went gun-ho and just self-growth, self-teaching. At the same time, when I was going to CSU, I was working for a moving company. And I tried a couple times. I went up to the owners and I was like, hey, I just want to like be an intern. I want to learn what it takes to be an owner. What do you deal with on the background? Like I'll even work for free. The first time he was like, absolutely not. And if you think you're going to start a moving company, don't. And if you think you're going to take my employees, don't. Seems like there was some like bitterness, probably got burned in the past.
Yeah.
But it didn't stop me. I still kept going. I eventually helped him do dispatch in the morning, was the first person to do that while going to school. And then he gave more trust to his other employees for more responsibilities. He saw it kind of release that stress off of him. Mm-hmm. And then over time, I became their first GM. So within that 4 years, faced those challenges, became a GM. They had 4 trucks and 12 movers when I started. When I left on my final day as a GM, the cap they had on the summer was 60 movers. They now had 12 moving trucks,
wow,
2 junk trucks, and they were in the midst of starting a roll-off company.
Wow.
So I knew I could grow a company. Mm-hmm. I knew I could grow teams. I knew I can work with multiple owners because that company had a 3-part ownership. So kind of working your way around like changing methods and things, and you may piss off one, but the other 2 are on board, or 2 may not really like it, but 1 likes it and the employees like it. So really playing that game to what builds a company and ultimately seeing what works, right?
Yeah.
When you go against the grain of some people, but they may not see the vision until it happens.
Yeah. Man, that's cool. So you went through a lot of self-discovery to get to a point of like, all right. Did you know entrepreneurship was always kind of the end game, or did you think
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I was selling candy bars in middle school.
Yeah.
I was that kid that was like, teacher told me to stop, and I had a duffel bag and a backpack every day at school. That's and awesome. And I got told I shouldn't be doing it, but then I started sneaking it in the locker room. I was like, no, you can't.
Yeah.
It's a free world. I'm still selling candy bars.
I love it.
People want it.
I started cutting grass before I could even remember when I started for the neighbors and stuff. I think that's like everybody, all the entrepreneurs, we all had that kind of built into us at a real early age. That's cool, man. I appreciate you sharing some of that insight into what you got and what internally got you to this point. It's a different path. It's a different path for everybody. And I feel like a lot of the audience being contractors feel like, I got forced into this position. And it's like, okay, sure, that's one way of looking at it. Like, I'm sure you didn't wake up when you were 12 and like, I'm gonna, lay concrete every day, even on weekends, I'm gonna lay concrete because the season's here, like that's not how it goes. But what are the things that led to that? If you look back, there's usually kind of an ownership point to where you made some decisions and it wasn't
always a choice.
bad, right? It wasn't even a bad decision. It was just you made a decision that led you to this point. And if you own it, you can own that story, right? Like you could have told that story a completely different way where it was like, yeah, man. And then my school closed and they whiplashed me. And then I spent 5 years trying to figure it out and I didn't. And now, I'm great. The man did it again, right? Screwed us again, right? Like there's that's something that I love kind of about our whole audience and try to pull out of every listener and every member of our audience is like, you can do it. Like there's no way. There's no rules to this in terms. I mean, there is rules. So don't quote me on that one. There are definitely rules to operating a business. In terms of the process, though, of like, who do you need to be? You need to be somebody that wants to run a business, and that's it. From there, you can do it, and you can figure it out. So that's cool. Thanks for sharing. What about customers? Let's talk about maybe your process, something like that. Like, dive us into a little bit of what's an average day look like for the Steel Dog Boys?
Yeah, man, it's kind of everywhere. I'm gonna be honest. We're an early company. We're about 2 years into this, so we take on any and all, right? And with that, we get about a split of commercial and residential, right? So we could handle as small as a simple metal siding job all the way to we're building a water treatment facility building for AECOM. So kind of that, what's in between is there's so much, right? We are actively on AECOM site in Rico, Colorado. We're building a mezzanine for them, and we're actively building a custom home for a residential client in Callahan. So, our typical day to day is discipline, tackling, every day with grace and honor, taking on, what's in front of us and being, what's the word I'm trying to think of? Being intentional, right? Like not wasting the life we're given and the opportunities we're given because it's there, right? We can easily take it for granted and let it be in the background and it fails, right? Or are we going to be truthful with what we're given and honor it, right?
Like, take the opportunity,
take it all, right? So lots of phone calls, lots of site visits on a typical day to day. We really take advantage when we are in town to take care of those jobs on site, right? And then we just let all of our customers know when we're traveling and we got to go to Rico, Colorado. That's 6.5 hours away. So, yeah,
man. One thing I've noticed with you guys, I saw a BNI profile when I was poking through websites and stuff. I don't know if it's current or if it's a legacy profile or what, but I did see that. The point of that is it looks like you do a lot of networking, and I bring that up, one, as a thank you for sponsoring the Colorado Springs meetup. We just started it. This will be, by the time this airs, we'll probably have done our second one. But it's something that we do in Lone Tree every month. We started in Loveland every month. Those groups have grown like crazy. So I really believe in that Colorado Springs meetup. Even the first one was fun. Like 20-30 guys were there. It was a great time, meeting a lot of new faces. So one, thank you for sponsoring that, making sure we got coffee there. If there's no coffee, I don't know how successful those things would be. And it's early, 7 a.m. No, me included. So yeah, thank you for doing that. But let's give you an opportunity quick to just talk about networking. I think I believe in it. You don't have to sell me. So what I would love to hear is if you were talking to another contractor that's maybe on the fence or has done a few things that hasn't found success with it, where it's just like, why do you network? Right? I don't do it because I don't know. It makes me uncomfortable, but like you seem to do it. Why would you do it? Answer 100%. That question.
100%. Especially as a general contractor, right? There's always this like, oh, networking's not for me, right? Because my typical client needs to, the job size is a lot higher. We're not service-based where we're offering a typical service with the same price every single time. Now, if you're a service-based industry, nothing said. You better be networking because you have a service to offer that people can use and everyone needs to know about it. Now, as a general contractor, I would say it's good to know your people, right? So networking for us that's been super beneficial is like our trade partners. Know who you're working with, because if you're just saying, oh, I have to have this sub because it's the only person I know, well, no, there's so many out there. Network, figure out who they are, learn about their families. Do you mesh as people? And that alone will grow your network and your trust with your people and more work because you know your people. I mean, if you're just giving jobs to Joe Schmo and you never meet the guy, you never know the guy, more than likely you're going to get screwed over at some point because they don't know you, you don't know them, and what's the relationship to be had? There isn't one. So when people put an emphasis on money opportunities and work and progress and opportunities over people, that's where they get caught because the priority should be people at the end of the day. We're working for people, we're working with people, we choose who we're working with. So why not take care of those who are taking care of you?
Yeah. I think that's something that I hear from a lot of, I hear it on both sides. I hear it from subs and I hear it from GCs. The GC side, you nailed. Why would I go?
Right.
I don't need what you have.
Right.
And it's like, well, one, you don't even know what it is. But like, two, you're a GC, you're an entrepreneur. I can make an argument that your job can be very tough and very lonely. That's why we have this. Come drink coffee for an hour and just shoot the shit with some guys that you probably, it's like looking in a mirror, man.
Yeah.
Like
those are all the people giving you opportunity.
Yeah.
You take care of your subs, they just want the trade they're masters in. If they come across somebody, which they do and they will, that needs a big building, a custom house, they're going to throw them your way if you're the one taking care of them. And they're like, hey, I just want the tile work.
Yep.
Cool. You just gave me a full custom home build. why are you not taking care of that guy?
Exactly.
Like that's, yeah,
It's
it's a no-brainer.
It's a no-brainer, right? It's something that seems so obvious, and I think it's just one of those things. It's like you gotta come to the other side of the fence. Like you just gotta try it. Like I get it. Maybe it sounds crazy. Like you're telling me if I come down to Colorado Springs at 7 a.m. and I sit in a room and I have coffee with some guys and I shake hands, that 6 months later I might get a custom home because of that morning. And I'm like, well, to be honest, no. And I would really question the guy that's bringing you a custom home that met you 6 months ago and shook your hand one time.
Right.
But imagine you come every month. That's 6 contacts. After the second month, you're like, hey, I really want to meet you. I want to sit down and get to know your business. I think I have some value that I could bring your business. And I think you might have referrals to where you might be able to bring them to me. I don't know about this, but I want to get to know you as a person first and see what happens with business second. You want to grab some coffee. Great. Now you sprinkle in once a month, you're going out and doing other stuff. You start some small projects together. Okay, great. Now you've seen in 6 months, you've ran into this other individual or worked in some capacity with them 25 times.
Pays within itself.
Okay, now 6 months go by, they hear about a custom home. Of course you're at the top of their list because you actually have a relationship, right?
Yeah.
Magnify that by 10 years. Congratulations, that's your best friend in construction. Like
Exactly.
These we forget how these relationships start because a lot of us in construction got those relationships handed to us by who we were working with on the tools at a certain point.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, you just grow up in that atmosphere and then you have these trusted people.
Right.
Well, if you want to grow that sphere, you have to be intentional about it. So I think Contractor 101, Networking 101 is something that we want to roll out to the audience. Specifically talking about a lot of this. What can referrals mean for your business?
Yeah.
So thank you for taking a minute to talk about your experience there. Is there anything else in terms of?
I kind of want to plug BNI a little bit.
Yeah, go for it.
Because I wonder if there's a way to partner. Because what I like about BNI, it can get off track a little bit, but what made me join my BNI is the heavy blue collar trades in there. There was a plumber, an electrician, a flooring guy, a painter, a roofer, a restoration company. I was like, cool, I can network with these guys. And they, half of them, an HVAC guy, a garage guy, so half of them I use today because we did the one-on-ones. We meet weekly. I know who they are. I've heard about them and their families. Quite literally exactly what you're saying. But what I like about BNI is it builds a base, and essentially it's like training because they require you to do one-on-ones. Then that turns into referrals, education, coming to a meetup regularly, doing what's necessary to build your company. I mean, if you're not meeting people outside of clients, you're just going to see the first pick on Google, another probably corporate company who you'll never meet and is just cheapest service at the most price. And you're not meeting your local people that are going to take care of you. Yeah. That you want to grow with.
Yeah. So I've been a BNI member in the past, a few different chapters throughout the years down here in Colorado. And I think that explains a ton of the success that you feel. And I like BNI, I think is because you went into a service-based group that already was built out there. That seemed to be one of the hardest things when I was at BNI was finding
that niche,
finding service-based people that were able to have the commitment and the right mindset to commit to that. What I think would be a possibility is taking some of that BNI mentality and building it into some sort of, I don't know if it's a leads group here. I don't know if it's anything like that, but what I'm trying to do is strip out some of the pieces of education. For me and for you, it's a no-brainer. How do we show up into a room? How do we talk to people? How do we do our thing? To me, it's just, that's how life is at this point. You just introduce yourself. You talk about what you do and what
you know who you meet, man.
Yeah, you really don't. But I know a lot of the people that show up into these rooms on the contractor meetups, whether it's the Springs or Loveland or Lone Tree, they show up and it's they've never done anything like this ever, never once before. And I think that's something that I've been taking for granted a little bit. So I want to give a lesson, like a 101. How do I network? What does networking mean? What do I show up with? What do I wear? Like from the seriously, like from the basics, I get these texts. Hey, this is the first time I've ever done this. You know, do I wear my work stuff? Do I need to wear like a tie? Or and I'm just like, hey, don't worry about it.
Be branded.
Just be you. That's the most important thing. And I like to think of our contractor meetup specifically is like, hey, if there's any networking group out here that's going to understand you for you, it's this
that's
group
what's
here.
Perfect about blue collar. Yeah,
There's a lot of leniency in this group here. Like if you got dirty work boots, like bang them out front and then come in. Like that's fine. Like we get it. People go to the job site right after these events. People have to go before. We totally get it. And I think that's one of the reasons why it's been a little bit of a success for us.
Right.
They've grown over time. More people attend them over time. It's just, I think they've realized that like, oh, when they say contractor only, they mean it. Like, there's only contractors here. So, yeah, that's cool. Man, I'm trying to think first, anything that you have that you just want to get off your chest that as we've been talking, you've had.
I mean, just to touch base on our meetups, right? It's great. I think we're running in the same, track as like BNI, but we're emphasizing to us, right? Like contractors, right? We get too messy in these other networking groups where we can't relate to a life insurance person, we can't relate to a real estate agent. We just need to talk to other people who know what we deal with every day and also need, because we run into other things. Like a framer can run into a tile job, a tiler can run into a flooring job. Like we need those people in our back pocket because it helps our customers when we can refer someone just as good.
Yeah. It's good. It's putting some wind in my sails here. It's we've been working on the structure of what this could look like in terms of helping people with the networking side and the connection side and the professionalism as a whole. I think that's always our mission, is to constantly moving this organization and this audience into a realm of more and more professionalism.
Yeah.
And I think networking is definitely a piece that comes with it. So we'll keep working on that. But this is good. It's good to know. I'm wheels are turning as we're speaking.
Yeah.
Okay. Go. Maybe maybe we can do this. Maybe we can try that.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Well, I got probably a few more minutes here. I feel like I could talk about this kind of stuff all day. The professionalism side is awesome.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you do as a business owner that you don't see a lot of others do?
Yeah.
That you think might be worth sharing with the audience?
I think education. We take for granted that we have spent our lives learning this craft, knowing what we do, and doing it every day, that when a customer asks what we're doing, we kind of take it as like an insult, but they don't do what we do. They're genuinely probably curious on what we do, how things go together. They're in a totally different world, right? And I think we take for granted that people genuinely don't know what we do. So taking that educational approach and being genuine on telling like the steps, what they're paying for, what comes with the job, what do we handle, is big. And that builds that trust with my customers every single time. I don't think I ever have educated a customer and they're like, oh, let me use the other guy that's telling me nothing and just giving me a price and saying they're going to do it.
Yeah.
Right. So really just educating people is kind of what I do. And it's worked. It's big. I think it's needed. Yeah. Because they're hiring us because they don't know how to do it. Right. So they're not questioning you because they think you're doing a bad job. They just genuinely want to know what's going on. Yeah. Yeah.
And assessing that level of wanting to understand what's going on, I think is extremely important, where a lot of contractors just don't think about it.
Yeah.
As there's different levels of curiosity. Like you go to the store, some people are curious about what's in their food. Other people don't care at all. Like if you're dealing with somebody that doesn't care at all, read the room, let them know, hey, I'm happy to explain as much or as little as you want. Here's where I think we're at. I'm going to start here. You tell me I want more, or you feel free to look at me and go, hey, I don't care, man. Enough. I just want my structure done.
Yep.
The check's going to clear. Don't worry about any of this.
Yeah.
Let's get back to our lives. Great. Some people love those clients. Some people feel like that's a lot of freedom, maybe too much freedom.
Yeah.
Great. But read the room. If you've
Yeah.
got somebody who is curious and they're asking you about stuff, like you said, don't take offense to it as like, man, they don't trust me or
Right.
they don't whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe look at it as they don't know what's behind these damn walls.
Right.
They don't understand any of this. So they're trying to look at this structure and go, $400,000.
What the heck's happening right now?
400,000. Okay, great. So are they paying you 400,000 for the end thing? And then this is part of what you have to deal with. Some people are paying you for that end thing, and that's what they want, and it's fine. Some people are also paying you for that end thing and all of the process that goes along with it.
Yeah.
So they just want to understand, hey, they're paying you, yes, for the structure, but also for the consultation. And the consultation is, I'm not trying to build a steel structure when you guys finish this job and leave. I'm trying to understand why I'm picking you over the other guy.
Yeah.
And some consumers aren't comfortable bringing you into that decision-making process.
Right.
That's why I try and encourage our members to come in and do a bid consultation. Like, come in at a different angle, not, hey, let's walk through my bid and then you walk through their bid and then you're the one responsible with no construction knowledge trying to bridge these two and figure out the differences. You know, one guy's just giving you the price, the other guy's trying to consult and walk you through the process. You're like, I'm overloaded on this side and I'm underwhelmed on this side, but the price tags are different, and how do I move forward, right? Analysis paralysis.
Yeah.
Or, well, I'm going to go with the cheaper dollar amount because that makes me feel better. Okay, great, right? That's not gonna. We know how that goes, right?
We do.
So just taking
Breaking
the
them
time,
down with them.
taking the time with the customer, and just walking them through, like, hey, man, here's your final spot, or here's your final product, and then here's how we get there.
Yeah.
If you want more, just let me know, and we can dive in. I love this stuff. I eat and breathe this all day long.
Even down to materials, like what are you paying for? Gauges, thickness, like quality. Yeah.
And if your customer doesn't, I believe this, and I think it's a matter of just finding the right customers, and not every customer is the right customer.
Yeah, that's true too.
Finding the right people that understand the appreciation of a consultation, they understand the knowledge, they understand, again, whether they want it or they don't want it, that doesn't necessarily matter. Just finding a customer that understands, like, you're the expert, I'm hiring you for this. If I'm going to the dentist and I need dental work, I'm hiring them, not because, well, what did the material of the whatever porcelain tooth you just put in or whatever, what does the steel cap cost, unit cost? No, I want my tooth fixed. That's what I'm paying for.
Yeah.
And I'm trusting you to do it. So, man, I really do appreciate the time today. I think it's been a fun interview, getting to know a little bit more about you, your family, your hobbies, things like that.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna have some fun this summer. That's for sure.
For sure.
Anything else? I guess one question I did have before we wrap up: what's in the future for Steel Dog Structures? You guys got anything cool on your plate?
Just scale, man. Scale and grow. I mean, we're getting to a point where we could do building sales nationally. So that'll be awesome. And so with that comes with finding the right crews nationally as well. So we do have a small crew that'll travel, but we'll definitely need more once we start to grow. So
just add that to the list of Contractors of America needs.
Yeah,
man.
Exactly.
We got some cool stuff coming for that too.
Heck
that's a full other podcast, my friend.
I'll be happy to be a part of that one.
Awesome,
yeah.
dude.
I
Awesome.
want to hear what's going on.
Well, cool, man. Anything else you got? The mic's yours, really. If there's anything else that you wanted to
I'm
end
pretty
with.
good, brother.
Yeah. Awesome.
It was good to chat.
Good, man. Well, thank you for your time. Thank you for sponsoring the Colorado Springs meetup as we build that thing up. I imagine we're going to look back 3 months from now, and I'm sure it's going to be, right back to where Lone Tree and Loveland have gotten.
We'll have everyone from Monument to Pueblo at that point.
Yeah. It's I guess technically in Fountain, the venue is that we're meeting at right now. But it was awesome. It's a great space. So I really appreciate you kind of hunting that down for us.
Yeah, 100%,
getting the coffee and some food for us there. So keep an eye out, audience. We'll announce. You can find all of our events on our website, contractorsofcolorado.com. Make your way to our events page, and you'll find all the events there. We've got our membership info on the membership page. Steel Dogs are our members too. get access to the Better Business Bureau profile accreditation, all of that good stuff verified with them. CRM system for your business, our own learning portal. Have you gotten into that learning portal yet?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that thing's pretty sweet. Cooper's doing.
I'll take free learning all day. I paid for it, so
there you go. Right.
if I'm gonna pay for it, I'll definitely take it for free.
As my father would say, he goes, "That's not free. That's included."
Yeah.
And all right, yeah, it is. But I love that mentality. That free. You know what that means? It means you see value in other areas enough to where that's just some sugar on top.
Exactly.
So, good. Yeah. Shout out to Cooper for packing that with some good member content, learning, sales, marketing. It's amazing.
Yeah.
So check that out. We've got our marketing information, all of our events, like I mentioned. Check out the website. Keep you up to date on everything we got going on. Ollie, man, really appreciate you.
You as well, man.
Tripping over my words here. It's time for another cup of coffee.
Yes, sir.
But it's been great having you. Everybody check out Steel Dog Structures. What's your website?
SteelDogStructures.com.
Easy. SteelDogStructures.com. Down in Colorado Springs. They travel all over. Starting some nationwide stuff. I'm proud of you, man. I mean, I'm pumped about this. I love hearing, the stories of the people in our community that support us, because it's like, that's what we're here for.
What makes us a network, man.
I think that's the theme of the podcast. We'll name this one like relationship building or something like that, because it really is. It really is at the core of everything we do. If we have better relationships with each other, we'll figure all this shit out. I really do believe. I really do believe it. From partner to partners relationships to client to business relationships, the whole industry I think is going to elevate, and it starts with conversations like this and the topics we've taken here. Some of those gold nuggets, spreading them out. Hopefully we can clip this thing up and do some little 90-second things that some of these guys will watch. And man, spread the good word. Love what you're doing. Any way I can help, you keep this in mind, man.
Yes, sir. Same for you guys.
Awesome, brother. Well, thank you, everybody. Shout out Builders Outlet, Cabinet Stores, Windows Trim up in Denver. And thank you to the Business Foundry here. Thank you to the Steel Dog boys. I got to stop calling it Steel Dog Structure. Well, I Googled it the other day, and it was like, no wonder nothing's coming up. I was like, why am I calling them like the Steel Dog Structures? Check them out. Anything that you need. They've been great to us. Keep an eye out for our events in Colorado Springs, Loveland, and Lone Tree. That's it for today, everybody. Appreciate you all. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.